So it's very fortunate when we have a chance to hear the Dharma teachings. For us in the modern world, we haven't had them available to us for very long. If you think about, the time that the teachings were kind of locked in Tibet, it was only due to the fact that there were kind of like explorers and who had made the great journeys to go into such a remote place that we were able to even hear about the Buddha Dharma in Tibet. And a lot of us, the first exposures we had were through National Geographic, that they had taken pictures, and we had heard about this. One of my very dear friends who had passed away since then, he said that, when he was a kid, he was an elderly gentleman when he was a kid, he saw these pictures about what it was like. And not that the commentary was very good, but the pictures were very excellent. And then China invaded Tibet, and that caused a great exodus and a great fragility in the land of Tibet itself. But by those people that escaped or ran away from that hardship, then the world had a chance to get exposed to the teachings of Vajrayana Buddhism. Now, that does mean that we have to kind of take into account that we come to the teachings as modern consumer humans. We're kind of consumer people. We're all about hunting and gathering, collecting and keeping and amassing, if not wealth then and power, then at least the conditions that we think will make us happy. And so we're very busy about that. We get educated for that. We take a very proactive approach to getting and keeping what we think that we need in this life in order for us to succeed and be happy. And it's a little bit different. I would say more than a little bit. It's such a different paradigm than what you are presented with when you start to be exposed to Vajrayana Buddhism. Vajrayana Buddhism is a lineage of wisdom, a tradition of wisdom, whose intention is to make a maximum use of a human life in order to break through some of the confusion and delusions of our ordinary mind. Because our goal is to be happy. But happiness is not really accomplished by outer acquisition. Now, that's easier said than comprehended. We all think our happiness is due to outer acquisition. Acquisition of things, acquisition of people, acquisition of talents, acquisition. If we get what we can get, the most we can get, we can be happy. We have kind of mathematics. If you add it all up, it's supposed to make happy. But what the Buddha and the great masters have come to tell us is that it doesn't actually work. It isn't really the source of happiness. And that there are some problems that we have in the basic premise that I want to be happy. There is the happiness part, but there's the I part. And in that we are heavily dominant and dependent upon the I part, then we aren't able to actually produce happiness. Because the I part is counterproductive. It's not able to experience lasting happiness. So the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, the great masters, this lineage of teachings comes for a resolution to this I part. with the resolution of this I part, then we can experience authentic being, authentic well-being, and in that, happiness, fulfillment, even greater than we generally conceive of, I should be happy, I want to be happy. A far greater realization of well-being is possible. It's just that we haven't been exposed to that. More than being exposed, we don't have any education towards that end. And more than just education, we don't have any authentic training to produce that. So, there are the teachers and the teachings and the purpose to produce an experience of well-being that exceeds and triumphs over our ordinary approach towards happiness, in order that you and all beings could accomplish what we call freedom, fulfillment, enlightenment.